Part two, bitches. Um, yeah, hell right, I'm blemmed up right now. And it's about to get real. Before I blemmed up, I even made some points. I normally just go freehand. I just talk to y'all. I know sometimes it looks like I'm looking at notes or something. I'm just looking. I'm just looking places. I'm just looking. I'm just gazing. I'm really more inside my head than where I'm looking. You get what I'm saying? But because I didn't want to take too long with this video, because that first video, man, that shit was 10 minutes of nothing. But uh, I'm just excited. Like, you have to understand, this is when I initially fathomed trying to even think of doing something like this. I thought about it like way back, even before I knew there was an actual diet that lined up like this. When I was a kid, I was like, I'm a fucking meatitarian. Okay, you have to understand, I was a meatitarian. I just ate meat. Like, not that I just ate meat, but I felt no ways of having a plate of chicken and steak. Like, that could be a meal to me. Like chicken, fried chicken, and a slab of steak with some piece of ham and some, like, bro, you don't want to see how I went inside Mandarin to eat. And I'm talking about same dread. Like, I had dread. Yo, I went to Jamaica at Pops and was sitting down inside a KFC. You get what I'm saying? I was just sitting there and waiting for our chicken order, and this man was sitting with his kids, and he's just staring me down like, to be honest, it's like he's right here and I'm right here, and he's just staring me down, just staring me, and I'm there talking with my pops, and me one of man staring me down that close. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, what? I turn around, I smile, he looks away. So afterwards, I show my dad. I'm like, yo, the man was staring at me hard, and I turned and looked, and he looked away. That's like a true, cause you're a dread. You're not supposed to be eating these ITAL food. I'm like, but it's just a hairstyle, Dad. And he's like, you can't tell them people that. So it's funny how, and Rastas, when they ask me, when I would tell them that it's just a hairstyle, they would laugh. And it's funny how my life has moved in a way to line up with a lot of their teachings. But there's certain things that I must speak that surpasses their teachings. A lot of the things I'm gonna say in this video is gonna line up with my upbringing, which was a Christian upbringing, because my life in full circle has taught me a lot of things that line up with their teachings. But I'm gonna be moving beyond their teachings. Okay. Over life, I've had chance and the blessings to be in religion classes, to speak and communicate with people of different religions who've been able to sun me, just straight sun me, and give me deep lessons on what their different religions have meant to them and how it allows them to move day to day. And different teachings, different studies across the planet that people have literally sunned me, where I had to be like, I have nothing to say. But I'm not the type of person who, when I have nothing to say, that means you're right. You know what I'm saying? That means I just have nothing to say. So I would always go back home and say, maybe I have nothing to say, but maybe someone else does. And I would search points and literally debate in myself back at home. As a kid, I would debate points side to side of what I would think would make it a fair fight between both sides. So I would step outside of myself, regardless of the bias that I had, and I would start arguing points from both sides and try and ensure that every point was met in terms of due diligence in the research and background. I did that for myself. You know what I mean? So everything I speak, I'm just speaking about truth that I have for myself. This is the way I'm going to be living. This is the way I'm going to try and live. And this is a way that if anybody were to come to me with their problems, I would be influencing them to live. You have to understand, when you come to somebody for an answer, if they don't give you them, they lying. So there's a way that we're living right now that we do not give people ourselves. We stay at home, speak to ourselves all the time, say who we are to ourselves, want what we want to ourselves, and then as soon as another person walks into the room, we start lying to them by not being as fully honest as we are to ourselves with that person. And every person is guilty of this, even me. But in a world where it doesn't allow for you to grow if you move in a certain way, have been able to grow and grow almost exceedingly in a way that didn't make sense to me based on the rules that I read initially before coming into the game. I understand that the streets is look, you can't survive in the streets if you ain't doing good. If you don't got nothing to bring to people, niggas eventually stop fucking with you. So that's why you always notice consistently over time there's been people who grow to get somewhere, they feel a certain ways, and you see a switch for whatever reason. And either you're on the side that ends up fucking with them consistently still, or you're on the side that says, yo, nah man, I don't really like how that person moving now. But the reality is that person is just in a cycle of growth, and all you saw was an instant. All you see is instants. All we get are instants of each other. And that's what locks into each other's mind every instant. So when I'm going back to now, people are not being completely honest and how that is fucking up our world. I'm just, before I get on that, I'm gonna just give you background on me. I'm gonna talk about me. I'm gonna talk about quickly my life, my upbringing, quick. I got 5 points here. So here we go. I grew up in a single mom home. It was just me and my mom. I was born in Montreal, but we moved to Ontario like as I was turning 3. So right in that time would be my 3rd birthday, transitioning away from my family and starting somewhere fresh. Whatever, it's Montreal to Ontario, like Quebec, they're neighboring states, but I still was not around my infrastructure, but that was for the sake of my mom seeing a win that she wanted. At the same time, you're asking, where's your dad? He was there. He was trying to be there. They just couldn't find, a mesh. And I'm going to stop right there for a second. I know a lot of people right now are watching this saying, yo, that's my story exact. My parents couldn't mesh. I don't know why. They just couldn't mesh. I'm going to explain to you why. Money. I don't care if your parents were getting paid like cray and rich like cray. It's money. So I'm just telling you that's the reason. You don't have to answer me back. I'm telling you that's the reason, okay? So, back to my parents. They got married and I was born. Now, I want to find out. I'm going to ask my mom. Did you guys have me before? Like, these are the things that we don't want to talk about. Like, wait, was I born? No, but my parents got married like 2 years before I was even born. So it's not even a thing. But the reality is they got divorced. And boom. My mom's holding me down. And my dad is holding me down weekends. I'm growing up my pops weekends, seeing my pops weekends, but that nigga is on grind time. So more times I'm with my pops while he's like literally working his side jobs that he's self-making, that he's like, I'm doing this myself. He was running a business, but he was also working a regular 9 to 5, 40-hour week job, which he still works. Plus, he was driving school bus. He was basically 3 jobs. And he had just recently brought his mom down from Jamaica and his sister in the period of time while my parents were divorced and I was growing up. So I'm seeing this level of hustle from my pops, seeing this level of hustle from my mom, They're separate, but we're kind of growing. Like there's kind of a growth. You know what I'm saying? I'm going into my schools. I'm doing my music. I ain't gonna get into all that. But my family is apart, separate. There's something successful being grown in my mind, right? As a kid, it's not like, why is my family not together? I'm like, this is my family. Clearly, other families are as such. You know, parent-teacher interviews are awkward, and certain things like that are awkward. But you know, because my dad would come, like I'm walking in and I'm like, this is awkward. You guys are never in the room together. Like, you get what I'm saying? Is these are the things we don't speak about. But anyways, um, so here we go now. I'm like, I want a brother. Like, I need a brother. Like, Mom, I need a brother. I don't know if that was the plea that sparked my parents' romance again, but they got remarried. And lo and behold, I'm 11, and my brother's born. So I was the only child for 11 years, and boom, brother. And me and my bro are cool to this day. You guys are gonna see some things popping off soon. It's been a rocky brotherhood between me and him. You have to imagine being 11 years older than your only sibling. Um, it makes you want to be like a parent to them, especially the fact that as soon as my parents got my mom got pregnant, they split again. So I'm now talking about, damn, like I saw something that potentially was cool, but clearly wasn't cool when you guys came together. When you guys were apart, there was growth. And I gave an idea for growing the family. And you guys had to come together in order to do that. I don't, like, to this day, man, I haven't really asked my mom, yo, uh, did you guys just get back together to have my brother? Either way, thank you. But now my parents are still together. You know what I'm saying? And because they got back together again. You know, my dad pulled some moves, you know, and he was able to pull us back together as a fam. And from that, a lot of growth was able to happen. But because the same financial constraints that plague every person within our world is there, families aren't able to focus on building. Families are always focusing on surviving and trying to get to the next level so that they can finally achieve what they just want to achieve. And most likely is just access to something, to do something that their hearts desired, always wanted to do. Like, my dad wanna tell me all this time. He tells me this all the time, and it hasn't been until this entire process that that I now have an appreciation for this thing that he wants to do. My dad wants to own a farm. He has farmland in Jamaica. If you've been watching any of these blogs, you know my dad already has a donkey. And I ask him all the time, why go on with donkey? Because, you know, and right now the neighbor is holding down a donkey, you know what I mean? But you have to understand, we're real people out here, man. Like, everyone's acting like we're fucking numbers, man. They're not numbers, man. I have a story. I'm here trying to play my role to society as a musician. But I have a story. You know what I'm saying? And my homeboys who are there at their jobs and they're hustling and bustling and have dreams that they want to aspire, they have a story already. The second we allow our world to have access to the things, I said, I don't give a fuck, man. You guys say I should go here spend 20 grand at Metalworks. You don't understand the school background I put myself through to still be a failure in the eyes of society. Are you kidding me? I don't give a fuck no more. Like, I'm gonna stop this video and we're gonna do a part 3. Here we go.